Hi guys, thank you so much for tuning back into my YouTube channel. I'm going to take you today through a 30-minute flow. I'm going to take you through some heart openers and some hip openers. Just remember to listen to your body, especially if you're relatively new to yoga. Just make sure you're tuning in. The most important part of your yoga practice is your breath. So listen to your breath. If you feel like you're losing your breath, feel free to take a child's pose or a downward facing dog. Just slow it down, listen inward, see what's going on in your body. It's going to be lovely for your mobility, lovely for your flexibility, and it will really help you even if you're training at the gym or you're doing other sports like you're climbing. It's going to help open you up and give you a bit more range of motion and a bit more freedom functionally in your body. So I hope you enjoy. Let me know what you think and ask me any questions. And remember, listen to your body. You know your body better than anybody else. If there's anything that's hurting, pull back a little bit, chill out. Don't take it to the point where your stretches are really in any like excruciating pain. You want to be feeling a strong stretch, but nothing that's going to injure you. All right, let's keep you nice and safe and let's flow.
Okay, so starting in Supta Baddha Konasana, bring the soles of the feet together, knees come apart. And slowly taking your left hand on your heart and your right hand on your tummy, close down the eyes, and just sending the attention a little bit more inward. Sending the attention to your breath, slowing the body down, becoming present on your mat. Take a deep inhale through the nose, then exhaling through the mouth. Deep inhale through the nose, and then exhaling through the mouth. This time, take a deep inhale through the nose, and then exhaling through the nose this time. Deep inhale through the nose, exhaling through the nose. Feeling gravity doing the work for you, bringing the knees towards the floor, opening through the chest. And then very slowly bringing the knees together, start to rock and roll your body backwards and forwards, massaging out the spine. Taking 3 or 4 rolls like that, and then slowly bringing yourself into an upright position, and then coming into all fours, however you do that. Slowly place the wrists underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Taking a few rounds of cat-cow. Inhale, lifting the chest, gaze towards the sky. Exhale, dome the upper back, bring the navel to the spine. Inhale, coming into your cow. Exhale, coming into your cat. Taking a few rounds like that in your own time, closing down the eyes if that feels nice. Just breathing space into the body, breathing that little bit of attention into the spine, and then slowly coming back through neutral. And then slowly we're going to start to take some hip rolls, so sending your hips to the right in a circle, and then to the left. Taking any movements that feel nice, listening into the body, perhaps sending some more attention to the wrist, or perhaps to the hips. Slowly working your way through, taking figure 8s if that feels good. Again, closing down the eyes, shutting out any distractions, just doing what feels nice for the body. And then from there, slowly starting to walk your hands back to your knees. Place the palms of the hands on the knees, close the eyes down. Take a deep inhale through the nose, exhaling through the nose. Deep inhale through the nose, exhaling through the nose. Then bringing your right hand to the side, reaching your left arm all the way over the top. Starting to stretch through the body, reaching, pushing the hips forward. Taking a few rounds like that on your own. Inhaling on the way through center, exhaling, reaching, feeling the stretch all the way from the tips of your fingers, all the way down to the toes. Stretching that side body, taking a couple more rounds in your own time. Again, it can feel nice to close the eyes down. And then very slowly coming back through center. And then from there, working your way to all fours. Inhale, lifting your right arm all the way towards the sky. Gaze towards that arm. Thread that arm all the way through. Allowing your shoulders and your head to relax completely on the ground. Start walking your left hand forward and slightly over to the right hand side. Feeling the stretch in the chest. Breathe into the space in the side body. Opening up the thoracic spine, the middle of your spine. Softening into the pose. And remember, the breath will help open your body. Staying there, breathing space into the body. And then very slowly come back through center, taking it to the other side. Inhale your left arm all the way up, and then coming all the way through to your thread needle on the other side. Again, gravity's doing the work for you. You're not holding anything at all. Hold the opposite hand forward. And just breathing into that space. Releasing any tension in the upper back, the chest. And from all fours, push the tailbone towards the sky and come into a downward facing dog. Your feet should be about hip width apart, And your shoulders nice and relaxed. Ground through all fingers and thumbs and start pedaling through the knees. Doing what feels nice in your downward facing dog, just checking into the breath, opening through the back body. Shake your head yes, shake your head no, release any tension in the shoulders. And then from there you can bend both knees, feel how that straightens your back. That is your main target of your downward facing dog, not necessarily to get the heels on the ground, but to keep the straightness of the back. Breathing in your downward facing dog, closing the eyes if it feels nice. And then from there, very slowly start to tiptoe your feet all the way to the top of your mat. See if you can feel your abs switch on every single time that you press down on the mat. And then slowly come into a ragdoll at the top of your mat. Bring your feet about hip width apart, interlacing the elbows and just allowing the body to hang. You can bend in your knees. We're still early in the practice. That will allow you to access your deeper hamstrings. Relaxing in the neck, shaking your head yes and no, releasing any tension going on in the neck. And then very slowly see if you can bring yourself up, vertebrae at a time, slowly bringing yourself to stand, arm comes out down by your side, bringing yourself in your Tadasana, bring the heels and the toes together, grounding through the feet, standing tall like a mountain, relaxing the shoulders, spreading the fingers. Deep inhale, lift the arms above the head. Exhale, slowly bending forward, push the hips towards the back of the room. Inhale to a halfway lift, straighten through the spine. Exhale back through a plank pose. Squeeze the thighs, dome the upper backs. Bring the navel to the spine. Gazes slightly forward. Wrist underneath the shoulders. Breathing in your plank here. Firing up the core, then releasing your knees, your chest, your chin down towards the ground. Inhale to a baby cobra. Exhale back, downward facing dog. Breathing in your downward facing dog. Deep inhale through the nose. Exhaling through the nose. Deep inhale through the nose. And exhaling through the nose. Taking any moves that feel nice in your downward facing dog. Or simply coming to stillness. Inhale your right leg towards the sky. Step it through all the way to the top of the mat. Ground through the left knee towards the ground. Inhale, lifting the arms above your head, coming into a lunge position. Exhale, breathe and soften into that lunge position. Relax the shoulders, ribs tucked in, navel to spine. Think about your right pelvis pulling forward, then interlacing the hands behind your back, coming into a chest opener. Breathing space into the chest. Inhale the arms all the way towards the sky. Hand them back down by your feet and then stepping back into a plank pose, knees, chest, chin towards the ground. Inhale to baby cobra. Exhale back, downward facing dog. Breathing in your dog. Inhale your left leg to the sky this time. Step it forward all the way through to the top of your mat. Ground the right knee to the ground. Inhale, arms rise all the way towards the sky. Exhaling, relaxing, softening the shoulders. Navel to the spine. Interlacing the hands behind the back, coming into that chest opener. Then inhaling the arms back towards the sky, placing them down towards the mat, stepping back to a plank position, knees, chest, chin towards the ground. Inhale, baby cobra, broaden through the chest. Exhale back, downward facing dog. Feel the tailbone reach towards the sky. Start to ground through the heels. Even if they're not touching the floor, sending the energy down towards those heels. Relaxing through the shoulders, ground through fingers and thumbs. And then from there, inhaling, bending the knees. Walk, step or jump to the top of your mat. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold at the top of the mat. Inhale all the way up to stand. Bringing your breath through heart center. Inhale, raise the arms all the way towards the sky. Exhale, forward fold, push the hips back. Inhale, halfway lift. And then exhale, either step back through plank, knees, chest, chin, or you can come into your Chaturunga if you're more familiar in your practice. Exhale, back, downward facing dog. Coming into your downward facing dog, feet hip width apart, Relaxing the shoulders, grounding through all fingers and thumbs. Tailbone shoots towards the sky. Feeling the straightening of your back. From there, bending in the knees, walk, step or jump to the top of your mat. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. And then inhale all the way up to stand, bringing your prayer through heart center. Inhale, arms above your head. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And then exhale, jump back through Chaturunga or knees, chest, chin. And then coming either through baby cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, back downward facing dog. Breathing. Bending in the knees, walk, step or jump to the top of your mat. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale all the way into your chair pose this time, sitting back like you're sitting back on a chair. Gaze is forward. You can see your toes from underneath your knees. Forward fold. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale, jump back through Chaturunga or up and upward facing dog. Exhale, back downward facing dog. Inhale the right leg to the sky, stepping forward, coming into your warrior one. Think about your hips squaring off to the front of the room. Exhaling, coming down back through your Chaturunga to upward facing dog or knees, chest, chin to baby cobra. Exhale, back downward facing dog. Inhale the left leg to the sky this time, coming through warrior one on the other side. Ground 45 degree in that back right foot. Exhaling, coming all the way through your vinyasa, so your knees, chest, chin, or your Chaturunga, all the way through to upward facing dog. Exhale, back downward facing dog. Breathing. From there, bending in the knees, walk, step or jump to the top of your mat. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. And inhale back to your chair pose. Standing up all the way to the top of your mat, standing your Tadasana. Breathing here. Deep inhale through the nose. Coming to stand at the top of your mat, take a big step back with your right foot. Your heel should be in line with the back middle arch of your foot. Raise the arms and then push the hip back towards the back of the room, coming down into your Trikonasana, tucking the left hip underneath the right. Imagine you're in between two panes of glass, gazing towards the top hand. Breathing. And then slowly gazing towards your left foot. Start to bend the left knee, coming into your side lateral angle. Again, the hips are square off to the side of the room, tucking in the left hip underneath the right, gazing towards the top arm. Then extending the arm over to the front of the room. And then from there, slowly placing your right hand on your right hip, place your left hand about a foot in front of the foot, coming into your Ardha Chandrasana, your half moon pose. So stacking your right hip on top of your left, and allowing that right arm to come towards the sky, flexing in that back foot. And if you're happy with your balance, you can play with sending your gaze towards the sky. And then from there, very slowly taking the right foot all the way down to the ground, coming back through your side lateral angle. From there, inhaling to a warrior two. Exhaling, sinking a little bit deeper into that warrior two pose. Inhale, reverse the warrior. Exhale, cartwheel the hands down, and then either take it through a knees, chest, chin, or through your Chaturunga. And then coming into either baby cobra or upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Breathing. Relaxing the shoulders, grounding through all 10 fingers and thumbs. Sending the energy through down to the heels, tailbone lifted towards the sky. And then from there, looking forward, walk, step or jump to the top of the mat. Inhale to halfway lift, exhale, forward fold. And inhale all the way back up to stand at the top of your mat, coming through your Tadasana. Taking it to the other side, taking a big step back with the left foot. Your left foot is parallel to your front heel. Again, heel is in line with the middle arch of the back foot. Take the hip backwards, and then coming through your Trikonasana. Onto the other side, gazing towards the top hand. Right hip tucks underneath the left. Grounding firmly through that back foot. And then staring towards the right foot, bending in that right knee, coming into your side lateral angle on the other side. Right hip tucks under. And then extending the arm ahead, extended side lateral angle. And then slowly working our way towards our half moon on the other side, so our Ardha Chandrasana. Stacking left hip on top of right, hover the left leg this time, flexing in that back foot. Left arm lifts, and then if you're happy with the balance, you can play with sending your gaze towards your top arm. Breathing. And then slowly placing that left foot back, coming back through side lateral angle. Inhale to your warrior two. Exhale, sink a little bit deeper. And then inhaling, reversing your warrior. Keeping that front knee bent. Cartwheel the hands all the way down to the mat. Coming through Chaturunga to upward facing dog, or knees chest chin to baby cobra. Back to downward facing dog. Taking 5 breaths in your downward facing dog. Deep inhale through the nose. Exhaling through the nose. Deep inhale through the nose. And exhaling through the nose. From there, bending in the knees. And then jumping all the way through to sit, or you can just come to sit down, just sitting on your sit bones. Chest is lifted, sitting nice and tall. From there, placing the hands by your hips. And then inhaling, coming up to a reverse tabletop, pushing the hips towards the sky, strengthening through the back of the body. And then on the exhale, coming down and then pushing your hips backwards. See if you can hover them. Inhale your hips towards the sky. And then coming back, see if you hover them off the ground, but not worrying if you don't. Inhaling up to your reverse tabletop. Exhaling, hover. And then from there, releasing yourself down to the ground, coming to sit on your sit bones, flex the feet, inhale, lifting the arms all the way above your head, and then exhale, sending your chest towards your toes, not worrying where those hands come, coming into your forward fold, breathing, softening. Laying down on your back, bring your knees to your chest, give yourself a nice big hug. You can rock from left to right if that feels nice. And then slowly start to extend your left leg forward, bring your right knee towards your chest. And then taking your right knee over to the left hand side and gazing towards your arm on the right hand side, taking a spinal twist. Breathing into the space in the side body. Every breath you're taking, opening a little bit more space in the body, opening through the chest, the side of the back, the glutes, breathing. And then from there, very slowly rolling back onto your back, extending the right foot, bringing the left knee to your chest this time, and sending the left knee over to the right hand side, gazing towards the left hand side, extending the arm. Again, softening into the space in the side body. Then very slowly coming back through center, hugging both knees to the chest, and then rocking and rolling the body backwards and forwards. Slowly bring yourself all the way to sit and coming into a plank position. And then coming through Chaturunga or knees, chest, chin, up to upward facing dog or baby cobra, and then stepping back to downward facing dog. Inhale, lift the right leg towards the sky, step it through, bringing your right knee behind your right wrist, setting up for your half pigeon pose. Square off the hips. Inhale, lifting the chest. Exhale, slowly working your way down towards the ground. Coming into your half pigeon pose. Breathing space into the glutes and the hips. And don't worry if that leg can't get completely parallel at the top of the mat. It will start to open up. You can make it slightly less parallel to begin with. Sometimes this can feel uncomfortable for some, so just try and stick with it as much as you can. Breathing space into the body, and rather than resisting, stiffening up, try and breathe a bit of extra space to any areas of tightness or tension. And then from there, very slowly working your way up to your vertical position. And then you can take your right foot on the outside of both hands, coming into your lazy lizard. Place the left knee onto the ground. Inhale, lifting the chest, and then exhale, slowly working your way down into the lazy lizard. And you can stay on your hands, or if it's in your practice, or if you'd like to, you can go into onto your elbows. But just try and keep the gaze gazing forward, taking the doming out of the upper back, breathing into the space in the hips and in the quads. Tend to store a lot of tension in our hips in the form of stress. So just breathing into it, taking your right leg all the way back into your downward facing dog. Inhale, lifting the left leg this time, taking your half pigeon on the other side, squaring off the hips. The back leg is centered. Inhale, lifting the chest. Exhale, slowly working your way down to the ground. And don't worry if you need to stay on your hands to begin with in this pigeon pose. And staying in that upright position to start off with, especially if you're new to yoga, can be quite uncomfortable. But knowing that it's doing a world of good for that body, for those hips. And then very slowly from there, taking it into your lizard on the other side. So your left foot comes out on the outside of both hands. You're now lifting the chest, exhale, sinking a little bit deeper, either on the hands or coming down to the elbows. The gaze is slightly forward, keeping that knee tucked into the body, breathing into the space, trying to resist the urge to fidget. And from there, making your way back through your lizard and just coming all the way to lie down on your front. Lying face down on your mat with your neck in line with your spine, gazing towards the ground. Slowly lift your legs and your arms up at the same time, but keep looking down at the ground, coming into your locust pose. Keep breathing, feeling the back bend in the body, and then slowly releasing down to the ground. Place your head to one side of the body. Wriggling in the hips if that feels nice, so loosen off the back. Then coming into your second locust pose, raising the arms, raising the legs, breathing. And slowly softening down to the ground, placing your head on the other side. Again, wiggling through the hips if that feels nice. And then from there, taking your ankles, flexing in your feet, coming into your bow pose. Start lifting your arms and your chest at the same time, using your arms as resistance with your legs to open up through the chest. Coming into that back bend, breathing here, and then slowly releasing down to the ground. Place your head to one side, and then taking one more round of the bow, flexing in the feet, grabbing both ankles from the outside, lifting towards your bow pose, breathing, feeling the opening in the chest, and the hips and the back. And slowly releasing back down to the ground. Give your hips a bit of a wiggle if it feels nice. And then from there, we're just going to work our way onto our back. So get there however you get there. Then start to walk the heels back towards the hips, placing them about hip width apart. You're going to take your bridge. So interlacing your hands behind your back, or just keeping them grounded on the floor. Start to lift the pelvis towards the sky, grounding through the heels, feeling the opening in the chest and in the hips. Gazing towards the navel, keeping the neck in line with the spine. Slowly releasing down. Then coming into your halasana, your plow pose. Setting the arms by your side and legs all the way above your head and over towards the back of your mat. Gazing towards your navel, keep your neck in line with your spine. Slowly work your hands to the lower back and allow your legs to come up at the same time into a shoulder stand. Squeezing the thighs, elbows, squeezing behind your back, and just allowing your inversion to take place, the blood to flow the opposite direction, stimulating the thyroids. Just breathing here again, keeping the neck nice and in line with the spine. Come back through the way you came. Not being tempted to move your head left or right, and then slowly using your arms as brakes, allow yourself to come down completely onto your mat. And then taking your final fish pose, bringing your elbow underneath your shoulders, hands underneath the hips, point the toes, start to send your head back, opening through the chest into your fish pose. And then very slowly coming through to your final resting pose, your Shavasana. Palms face towards the sky, toes turn out. And just allow yourself to surrender to total relaxation. Breath returns to its natural state. Enjoying these last few moments of stillness. And then from there, wiggling your fingers and wiggling your toes. Slowly moving your head from left to right. Taking your arms over your head, take your biggest stretch of the day, like a big Sunday morning stretch, stretching through the legs, stretching through the arms. And then very slowly, keeping the eyes closed, bring your knees towards your chest. And slowly work yourself over to the right hand side, using your arm as a pillow if that feels nice. And very slowly working your way up to a comfortable seat, keeping the eyes closed. When you've reached your seat, place the palms on your knees, chest is lifted, close down the eyes, take a deep inhale through the nose, and exhale through the mouth. Deep inhale through the nose, and exhale through the mouth. And then bringing your prayer to your third eye for clarity of thought. Bringing your prayer to your lips for kindness of speech. Bringing your prayer to your heart for an open and loving heart. Thank you for sharing your practice with me today. We say namaste.
Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed your flow. Let me know any feedback or any questions or any requests that you'd like me to do next time. I hope you enjoyed it, and thank you for sharing your practice with me. Thank yourself for sharing your practice with yourself. We all get kind of carried away in our crazy busy lifestyles, so it's quite so good for our body to just slow down a little bit, give it some attention, give it some love, and damage control all that kind of crazy busyness. Until next time, have a really good rest of your day. Yeah, enjoy it. Namaste guys, till next time.